Hello everybody all over the world. Hello, I'm HiGPS and today's episode is number 83. The red tape recorder. Namely this thing, this new item for the spy. So that's what we'll be covering today. We'll be looking into that, how it works and how you can incorporate it into your play, or is it broken? Or are there babies outside crying? I don't know. I think so, because I live right next to two kindergartners. Gardeners. And also, I-46 is going on, and why aren't you watching that? Saying you watching this video in 2013 at some point, when I-46 was like years ago. I'm talking to the future viewers, not the current ones. Anyway, check that out. But before I start on today's episode, I just forgot everything. I want to talk about the new format we have on the show now. First, I will introduce the weapon, whatever, like I've always been doing with a bunch of replays, but we'll always try and end with some sort of fail game, like where you just fail horribly and everything's funny for us because it fails so much. That is the newest thing. Then we also have, if you're familiar with that, the raffle, where we give away random stuff to random people in the stream. I might do some YouTube raffles later as well. With comments and stuff, we'll figure out a way to do that. But the whole new thing is the shoutouts at the end. And that's right, if you were here during the stream, you can join Mumble if you're one of the lucky people that get in before the server gets full. And you get pulled in at the last minute by me. And then you get to do shoutouts and go crazy for about 3 minutes, and then we end the show. And then I tell the next topic for the next time. So that's the new format, now you know. So if you want to be part of, Mumble, be famous on my not-so-famous channel, you can do that. So with that, we're going to go into my example menu of this weapon here. So here you can see it's the HiGPS show. Say hi. Hello. I'm a HiGPS show. I'm an engineer. Yes, excellent. So, just to give you an idea of distance you can run as an engineer before your sentry gun degrades. Because people go I've seen some people go yeah, you have 1.7 seconds to do that. And I'm I don't know in distance in Team Fortress 2 how long 1.7 seconds is. But I did some tests earlier and I figure out that about this distance, if you just run a straight line, you will not be able to save your sentry from degrading. So we're just going to try it here. Put the sapper, run up. And already you can see it's level 2, and if you stood any closer, you would actually be able to hit it, and then you have to hit it for 200 mil, and then upgrade it again to get it back up. So it's when the rocket thing goes down, it degrades to a level 2, and then it degrades to a level 1. That's the timings for that. Strange shot of timings first. But let's look at how this works. So we're going to go on to the first replay of the day, which is submitted by a user, which is called, I'll know it when the replay loads. Which is very soon. Don't crash. We just had a crash before the, yes, there we go. Yes, excellent. This is Chopper, moderator, friend, pal, buddy. He's going to be playing Spy with the Dead Ringer, Ambassador, and the Red Tape Recorder, which got added in the update with the sleeping dogs, and you've probably seen it. So, I'm going to show, this is how it works. You have a level 1 sentry. It takes the longest amount of time to sap a level 1. And this is pretty much how it works. You put it on, it starts to degrade. Then you just have Chopper here going oh bananas. Stabbing a guy there. And just runs over there. Stabs some more people. And then the sentry gun turns into this little thing. Here we have Chopper. So that's what it does. It degrades the building. It downgrades it. And on the Chinese character thing, it says anti-turret device or anti-sentry device, because in Chinese, sentry and turret is the same thing. Because sentry and turret is the same thing. So we got Chopper trying to do something fancy, jump out of the map, body blocking this little demo here. Of course, this is the Red Tape Recorder, but we're also going to be covering basic spy stuff. It's going to be using the ambassadors. You want to do those headshots eventually. So another spy here lands the headshot because you heard he got the crits. That's how you know in a replay that he got the crits, and he's just standing here and they're going to be capping the point and winning. Because they were good. So that is the whole idea of this thing, and what I can tell you as of right now, it is really good against level 3 sentries. And that's it. That's the whole idea of it. It's good against sentries to degrade them. But it doesn't do any damage. So if you repair your sentry that's being zapped, you'll still have the health intact unless somebody shoots at it. So let's move on to the next one. Still by Chopper. He's going to be playing with a lovely 100 ping. He's going to be doing the Spy Crab here on Dust Bowl. And we're just going to wait for the gates to open. Wait for the gates to open. You can also craft this. I believe it's 3 Spicicles, and it's reclaimed. It's pretty expensive. He's kind of running out here with the Deadringer. Of course, the Deadringer makes you fake your death. Probably the hardest thing to deal with for new players. He's going to backstab Engineer. Heavy doesn't hear the Engineer go right behind him. And he's just going to go on and keep on stabbing. So he's going to run up here with the Deadringer. Having it out all the time because, you know, it makes you safe. He's going to stab a soldier, and the Pyro doesn't even see him. So there's currently 3 spies running here, and here we have a sentry, and he's going to sap it. And as we know, the distance were, you know, about here of how long it takes before you can save it at level 3. So it's going to degrade, and here comes the NG, and he tries to fix it, and it's already level 1, and he saps it again, and now it's going to take a while, and he stabs another NG. Then he fixes death. This NG isn't even aware of what's going on. He doesn't even try to bother saving this sentry. And then the Pyro's like, oh. Right. Oh yeah, and then Chopper died. So that's how fast it goes. It's really good against sentries if the Engineer is not, you know, hitting it constantly. And also, if you're hitting it constantly as an Engineer, it will still degrade, because the thing is, it's the same, similar with the Zapper. If you have a Spy with a Zapper and an NG that just keeps like hitting the wrench, so you zap it and the Engineer hits it with the wrench, and the Engineer fixes it, and the Spy hits it with the hits it with the Zapper, and the Engineer fixes it again. Eventually, the sentry gun is going to die. And same thing with this thing; it is going to degrade regardless of how many times you hit it, unless you deal with the Spy. But in this case, you don't really have that much time to deal with the Spy. You're kind of forced to just repair your sentry because it will get downgraded anyway. So trying to do some fancy trick stabs there. Who is this? This is Chain, a submitter that's been submitting a lot of good replays here, and he's been using the butt knife. As you can see, the robot is like whenever he uses it. If he switches it, go on, switch to the knife. Switch. Yes, there you go. The robot's like, I'm a robot. Robot knife. Transform. Roll out. New Transformers game is awesome, by the way. You should get it. Totally. If you like robots, that's the game for you. He's like shaky when he's doing that. So, we've seen the sentry gun in pretty like one-sided locations. Like even if you zap them or not, it'd still be, you know, the sentry would die. But here you have like 2 level 3 sentries, but only 1 Engineer. So let's see how he plays with this. And then he fakes his death, right? So he's run over here. This is where he's at. You know, he's very sneaky. You can see the smoke. Oh, he decloaks, saps the sentry. We know that this is going to be level 2 in a second. He saps this one as well, and the dispensers. Everything is sapped. And currently there's a bug with the dispenser, so they actually keep healing you even when they're zapped. And then the heavy just comes in and cleans up absolutely everything. And that's how it works. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty good. Somebody might say it's overpowered. I'm not too sure because it's clearly good against sentries and not teleporters. If you try and zap a teleport, it takes freaking forever. So that was like using it before a push. As you can see, very, very powerful, very potent. But basically, the thing is, this weapon is probably meant for when you're playing against like really good engineers that are being backed up by pyros. Because if you have an engineer and a sniper and a pyro, like those 3 classes, that's just such a good defense. It's just so powerful. It's so hard to deal with. And even with the thing, and the sentry gun is wrangled, so it takes a lot of hit to go down, and you can't get close because of the pyro. You can't snipe it from afar because of the sniper. So this weapon, I feel, is like kind of like you go in and you degrade the sentry, and it goes down from like it had like 216 health, and it goes down on level 3, and then it goes down to 180 health on level 2, which is quite a significant drop in health. and fire speed, because it's weaker in every single way. You know, the levels with the sentry gun. So that's what I get. They're trying to do with this weapon. It's trying to give Spy, like, you hit him once, and then he goes down. It's kind of like headshotting a building, if you can call it that. Yes. So we're going to be seeing Chain here playing on Dust Bowl. He is going to be using the Letanger, which is a weapon we covered in the Saharan Spy episode, and the way that works is you shoot people and you get cloak. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but you get cloak. It's very good with the Dead Ringer to farm up that their cloak. So he's gonna be faking his death here and run over and getting a little boost there. And oh, dude, look, holy sentries, man! Look at all these sentries. Okay, so we have. Okay, there's no sentry here. I thought it would be a sentry here. Anyway, we have. Let's see what we have. Okay, there's a pretty strong defense there. So we have a sentry covering this, and then we have a sentry covering that sentry, as it also covers the point. And no, here's the sentry. All right, so we have a sentry covering the main entrance. We have a sentry covering the sentry, and then we have a sentry covering that sentry and covering the point. Excellent. So Chain is going to be doing a little trick here, and that is if you're disguised and stand next to a dispenser, you can see his cloak meter actually goes up, like right here, it keeps going up. However, if you keep extending your cloak on the Dead Ringer, you won't have that damage reduction. So he's going to like decloak right behind people and just sap everything. Oh, there's a soldier, and he's going to sap the engineer stuff, stabs the NG, and he goes fucking flying! What? Okay, let's look at that again from another perspective. Okay, so he's just sapped all this stuff, and he's gonna go, and oh, look at this. The demo man is like, well, since we don't have a pyro spy checking, I guess I'll spy check with fucking bombs. That's how I check if they're friendly or not. So he's gonna have a piece of saps, and the demo man's like, oh yeah, spy, and he just goes flying, and then gravity takes over, and he dies. That's pretty fast, man. Talk about an explosive exit. Yeah. But then you might ask, like, what happened? Well, that sentry's dead as shit. That sentry is level 1, which means it's dead as shit. It used to be 3, now there's 1. So the one covering, the one that should have theoretically died first is the one that survived. But they also have a ton of demo men, so they're fine, alright? If you ever have a problem on a pub server, just go fucking demo mine. It will solve the problem every time. It's like, we don't have a medic. Fuck that. You don't need medics. You just need demo men. Because they're good against everything. So that was the user submitted replays for now. Yes, thank you very much. I got a bunch of them, but they were basically like the same. Because that's the thing I try to do when I streamline the show, is that I don't try to show the same thing like many times, because like the replays were good, but they were all like, you know, we sapped a bunch of sentries and then they died. So this is me playing Spy, being awful as the result of being sleep deprived and having sleeping schedule of that of an American in Europe. Yes, so in case you're just tuning in, we're gonna have mumble shoutouts at the end, so you're able to shout out and go crazy with me and the moderators at the end of the show. So we're gonna be playing here on Payload Raise Pipeline. Yes, I remember that this time. We're gonna be playing Spy, and we're gonna be speeding it up like this. And we're gonna be hitting the car, hitting the car, hitting the car. We're running around and Smurfy way, waiting for the gates to open. So let's see how we're going to be using the red tape recorder. Okay, so we got the Dead Ringer out. And here's a little trick you can do. Oh, whoops. when you jump down, remove the Dead Ringer right before you land. Why? Well, first of all, you don't trigger your Dead Ringer for fall damage. So it's more believable, because so many spies, they're like, yeah, I better hold the Dead Ringer all the time. And then they fall down this drop. And then they take fall damage, and like there's like 1 fall damage, and then they're like, oh well, I guess I'm cloaked now, and then like which is the sound, which is very loud when you decloak, and then you have to wait until you get your decloak. With this, it's like a little trick you can do. Just saying, you don't always have to hold it up. So, oh yeah, I'm holding it up, yeah, just looking, currently disguised as Pyro. And there's an engineer here. Yeah, stab him and sap this and sap that. Yes, we got it. Thing died. Excellent. There's also like this thing with the red tape recorder that if somebody shoots the gun at exactly as it like degenerates or degrades. Ooh, look at this. When it degrades, it dies. So this is what I always say you should never ever do, and that is build everything in spawn to then carry it out. Because the reason is, well, it's all clustered together and one spy can just run in and sap everything and it's clustered together and then you all die. And he's like, yeah, at least the teleporter is alright. Fucking, okay, rebuild, oh shit, okay. Rebuild, fuck. Well, shit. That didn't work out at all. Never build in spawn and carry it out. Never. Unless it's part of your plan with an engineer buddy. He's like, dude, I'll build a teleporter like really fast and you build like a level 3 dispenser, so when my teleporter comes online, you carry it through. That's how you do it. You're not like, yeah, I'm just gonna build sentry here, dispenser here, teleporter, entrance, then exit, and then we're going to carry it all out and spend like 4 times as much time and then lose everything in the process. But this is an engineer episode, so fuck engineers. We got a red tape recorder, which is super good against engineers. Because Spy is the only class in the game that has a weapon that is designed against one thing and one thing only, like originally, and that's the Zapper. So we're going to be back here on Dust Bowl, and one thing you got to know about Dust Bowl is that Dust Bowl is a good map if you're on red team. And we're on red team, and by that notion, we are in a good spot. Okay, so, okay, we have an engineer making a forward sentry. This is, you know, this is fine. We have a medic just hanging around. So we're going to be using Dead Dringer, and, oh, soldier, whoop. And he actually did not know we're a spy. Alright, here's the thing. If you're running straight forward and you're like holding the W key like this is you use this finger when you push W key and you're like holding it like this and you just keep walking forward and then like you suddenly stop and then you keep going forward, you ran into a spy. But that guy was like, well, I guess I've gained a lot of weight. Better keep moving. That's like soldier talk right there. So we're going to be sapping this, and stabbing the engineer, and then we're going to be sapping what? What? Okay, let's take a look at that again. Okay, so here we are. And let's slow it down. Alright, so we just sapped this thing. Oh, whoops. That was fast forward. Okay, so we're gonna run in here, and oh, here's the engineer. Gonna stab him. Oh, missing, and then he shows his back to us, and we stab him. Excellent. And then we put a zapper at the same time a pyro comes through the teleporter, and then telefrags us. Excellent. Telefrag is when an opponent stand on top of the exit and you teleport through, and then you kill them with the telefrag. And I actually, as he telefragged me, put the zapper on at the same time. So it's kind of like, you know, punching yourself like this, like at the same time, is essentially what that is. Yes. So let's move on. Because we've seen a lot of offensive play so far, where you've been on the offensive, you've been attacking, and you've been zapping defensive sentries. So we're going to be looking at how that works with like offensive sentries when we are on defense, similar to what we were now. So we're going to look a bit more into that, you may say. Yes, so we're going to be playing Spy here on Payload Hoodoo. And then we're gonna be using the regular cloak, not the Deadringer, because we want to be really sneaky. Okay, they didn't see us. Okay, all right, running by. Because I guess Deadringer is more for spies that's like really impatient and want to be like in the middle of fire and survive at anything. But this thing, like, it's a lot harder to use, but you can do a lot more with it. You can like, but you have to operate very differently. Deadringer is like easy, man. And here we go. Ooh, what's this? We have a bunch of sentries and stuff clustered together. Yeah. So we're gonna be going over here and zap, 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 zap everything, and let's take a look at the damage we've done. This thing is already level 2. And there we died. But the sentry that was level 3 is now level 1. And that is pretty much the whole essence of this thing. It is to downgrade the teleporters, not necessarily, no, not like teleporters, the sentries, the telespentries, sentry pan supporter, porter sentries. And it usually happens before a push, because, you know, if they have like a really good defense, they have like a really good engineer that uses the Wrangler, and he's like really good with the Wrangler. And then you have a Pyro that's like really good at spy check. You can't really get close without him catching you, and a Sniper that picks you off at the distance, and you can't, you know, pop an Uber in because you just get compression blasted back. And here we have a Sentry. It's like, if you watch the Sentry spot episode, this is like not the best spot. But, you know, it's fine for now. So we're going to be trying to handle this thing. And right now, that sentry gun is giving my team a lot of trouble. You can hear it's like shooting, and they keep shooting at it, and it just never dies. And we're like, we're going to stop this dumb man. He knows we're a spy. So just use the pistol, and we shoot him, and we have auto reload on. Because we're cool. Cool people have auto reload on. I got to be running back now. And it had the Huling Heatmaker. I'm like, yeah, I want to try to do that, but then he died. And I was like, oh. Okay, so here we go, starting to degrade, and then we immediately run right into a rocket. And now the sentry is level 1, and the replay ends, but I'm sure you'll be able to guess what happens. So I just want to show you how far away the engineer was at the time of the whole distance thing, because I like times can be very like delusional. It's like, yeah, it takes 1 second. Well, how long is a second in Team Fortress 2? Like in distance. So we have the NG, where is it? He is... Okay. Okay, okay, dude, he is really far away. So by the time he gets to the sentry, it's level 1. And he was here. So if he's using the red tape recorder and you're this distance, you're fucked. You're so fucked. Your sentry is fucked. Your teleporter and dispensers are fine. No problem. They're doing great. So here you saw us, like, we sapped it down, brought it down to level 1, and then hopefully our team successfully did that. And spoilers, this is the next replay, and we actually pushed quite far. And one thing that's also important to note as a spy, if you ever get put on fire and you're using the regular cloak, uncloak, because when you're disguised, you can't shoot, and because you're on fire, everybody sees you clearly, even in the night, because you're on fire. Yes. So we're gonna be taking out the Pyro, because the pistol is good if you can aim. Reference to myself earlier today. But the pistol is really good for just taking out stuff if it's slightly damaged. We're gonna be using the regular watch here and just sneak up here. And okay, I want you to pay attention to this soldier. I don't know his name, but he has this hat and this gourd-board mustache and pipe. So we stab his medic. No reaction. Usually, you know, when people hear behind them, they just go, "What was that?" This guy laughed. No, check out what's over here. Of course, we stab him as well. So that's the first time we've stabbed him. There's a sniper up here, and I'm gonna try and stab. No, can't stab him. No, the spy stabbed him before us. There's a sniper. He threw the PP on us. We hate PP. Oh, there's a pyro. Okay, we survived this barely. So we're gonna go on the cart here and get some heals and get some cloak. And just have a jolly good time being a spy and being French. We're like, bonjour, je m'appelle spy. Mon pantalon, so très juste. And shout out to French. Alright, so here we have another good situation here. I just pause it at the good bits. This engineer is actually within the area where he can save the sentry. So let's see how this plays out. We sap it, and he actually goes to chase us, right? That's like the usual approach. And then he got killed by maybe the sniper, and then like all his shit's dead. Because the red tape recorder is very different in the way it works from the regular zapper, especially when you're an engineer. And what I wanted to mention real quick was that the regular zapper, when you're dealing with a zapper, the standard zapper, the stock zapper that everybody has and you've always been dealing with up until that update when this new item came, is that you generally kill the spy first and then you deal with the zapper, because otherwise the spy will just zap it again. You know, that's the general idea. But with this thing, if you don't go to your sentry gun immediately, it's gonna be like level 1, which means it has like 150 health or something, and is like really weak and dies like to 3 rockets or something, or 2 rockets even, or 1 or 0, maybe dies to bullets. I don't know. It's horrible being a sentry to just stand there all day and everybody just keeps shooting at you, and they zap you and put you on fire, and like invincible people come, there's nothing you can do, you keep shooting but nothing happens. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, right. So, but with this red tape recorder, you're kind of forced to not engage the spy because you have like a second to deal with it. And the thing is, like, if you fix it and the spy is still there and he zaps it again, it will still, like, you know, downgrade. Which really fucking sucks for you if you're the engineer, which is the point I'm trying to make. So here they have the classic, oh, we're going to build it in spawn and carry it out. Yeah, fucking good idea. I'm just going to shoot you. Yes, good. Because if you kill an engineer that's carrying the sentry stuff, you die with it. So we're going to be sapping this and sapping this, and man, this shit takes fucking forever to die. It's like, in the meantime, we were battling with an engineer and we killed him, I think, but that was not very important. We were looking at the zapper thing. And, okay, here we go, and there's a medic, and ooh, here's a soldier. You recognize this guy? He's probably switched hats, I think. No, it's not him. We're gonna stab that soldier. And we're gonna kill the medic. The medic's actually chasing us. And we take out the medic. Dun, 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 dun. And then we're gonna be rolling around and the engineer's back. Get the NG. Shoot him, shoot him. Bam. 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 Yes, taking him out. And I had a bit of a snorty laugh. As we continue on. We're just hanging around in spawn. Here comes the soldier. This is good. This is forget the first guy. This is the second guy. All right, so he just got stabbed right outside of spawn, and usually if I get stabbed outside of a spawn, I think when I'm alive, the spy might be there. You know, that's just a hunch. And this guy is like gets stabbed again in the same spot. And the medic's probably gonna chase us again, I think. Yeah, there goes the medic. It's chasing us like a deja vu. And we're just running around the car, and the pyro comes and puts the medic on fire and takes him out and kills him. Excellent work there. And then we die. Cool. Alright, so try to remember what happened previously. So I can't emphasize on this enough how dumb it is to like, yeah, I'll just build something in spawn and then carry it out, you know? Unless it's like deliberately part of your plan. So we're gonna be here still on payload upward on attacking team, and we're gonna be bothering the engineers again because that's what spies do. We bother engineers with the new red tape recorder, make them rage and type comments on the forums saying this thing is imba and broken, which I'm not too sure of. It's definitely strong, but not necessarily better than the zapper. So we're gonna be running up here to a roundabout, and we see a heavy, and we're gonna stab him, sap the mini sentry, which takes a long time to do, and we're gonna shoot the demo, and he actually fixed it. And here's the thing, because it doesn't do any damage, the mini sentry is still at full health. See people in the chat talking about trick stabs. We will get to that later today. And okay, so this engineer has spent the time it takes to upgrade this sim, and it's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna move it. Oh really? Oh really? You're gonna move it? Yeah, fucking gonna move it, cause I'm an engineer. Fucking smart. PhD and shit. We just rub and stab him, and he doesn't shake his back. Cause like I don't get this. The spawn is here, right? I mean, you can like the best spots probably for a sentry is here, which there's already one with the dispenser that blocks the path. It's like this is pretty good. I guess this guy, like, even though he doesn't have a hat, he's actually doing something really smart. And the reason is he has a sentry gun in a good spot, and he has the dispenser here. The dispenser is level 3. It's about not important because he can just run back, grab metal, and run back and forth like this. He also, I'm not sure if he did this intentionally, but this is usually a spotter teleporter. And what a spotter teleporter is when, well, I can show you, is that when a spy comes around and we're just gonna, yeah, we're gonna go and stab you. And it's, oh, it's a heavy, and, oh, it's a teleporter? Okay. Since I actually know about the spotter teleporter, I don't do it, but most spies are like, teleporter, free buildings, free points, better zap that. But here's the thing, if you zap this, the engineer is going to know you're here, because every time something gets zapped, it means a spy is nearby, near the thing. So if you, let's say if you put like the teleporter here, if you're here as an Engi and the spy zaps it, you automatically know there's a spy here. But he has it here, which is fine, and he also has this dispenser blocking the path. So let's see how this works. Gonna zap everything, and then we're just gonna shoot him. And then down he goes, having a bit of a laugh. And then we're gonna be zapping this as we redisguise, and we're gonna go and try and get the sentry. And now we're gonna be sneaky like a spy. And we're just gonna be like, yeah, just gonna hide here. Just hide in here. There goes another engineer, and you're gonna, oh shit, he turned around, he countered us! And the power council just burns us to a crisp. But this sentry is, it's not dead, but it's level 1. And it gets fixed, but luckily we have a team of scouts and snipers that's come and gonna bring the pain. That's what they're gonna do. Yes, so moving up. So let's see, like I mentioned this earlier with like constant repairs. So we're gonna see how that plays out right now. For an engineer, if a spy just continuously bugs you and he's left alive. So we're gonna see what happens with this red tape recorder. People in the chat are like, that guy didn't know that he's doing anything smart. Yeah, it's like when you do something like really fucking dumb and then like it actually pays off in like a really weird way and you're like, yeah, I totally meant to do that. So we have, sentry at a very peculiar location. Like this, like I said this a lot, but this point on Barn Blitz, this is my payload barn suites because it's a payload and then there's a barn here. Yes, it's Husky Acres. No affiliation to Husky StarCraft, but yeah. So an engineer, he's like whacking at it, and then we just zap it, and we zap it, and then we zap it again, and then we die, and it's suddenly level 2. So even with constant repair, 3 zaps and it's down a level. So that's the amount of time you have to deal with a spy. So if a spy gets close to you with this thing, your sentry gun is basically going to be level 2 unless you dealt with it. That's like the counter to it. I mean, it doesn't lose any health, but it's definitely the momentum maybe your team needs to push. But here's the thing, like if you push, like let's say you're not successful with this thing, and the zapper goes off too late, and it's back up, you haven't done anything, and your team will just like can't get the sentry. But with the regular zapper, it loses some health, and the downtime is maybe slightly longer, I don't know. But that's like the point, because even though like you downgrade the sentry, there's no guarantee your team will actually kill it. So with that, we're going to go on to the last replay of today, which is the fail replay. And it's going to be featuring yours truly, playing a spy, and doing good in the beginning. So you know, I'm not a main spy. I rarely trick stab, because it's not my thing. I prefer to use the pistol. But once in a while, I try to do like fancy trick stabs. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try and stay there. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna use the dead ring. I'm gonna run back. I'm gonna run away ever so slowly. Yes. And just gonna keep moving on here on blue with the rest of my team. Eventually, I'm just gonna look around and see if there's anything up here. No, okay, the card is here. Gonna fake our death. There's a scout here. I don't like him. And alright, we're gonna decloak and... Shit. Okay. This is not a good spot to be in because... that scout heard us. And he knows, man. He knows. Because we're just guys that's a spy. And there's no players on his team that's a spy that would ever be here at this point. So he knows. So yeah, come on, we're just gonna go. Yes, come on, come up here, bro. Come up here, bro. Alright. Just wait. And get him! Fuck. Yeah, trick stair stabs. Fucking great. Okay, so let's look at it from like third perspective. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna hide. This guy's like, yo, what's up? Fucking idiot. So that's gonna sum it up for today. So that means we're gonna go on to our next segment, which is probably the favorite segment of everybody's segment, which is the raffle. We need to have a raffle dance, but I can't dance, so what should it be? Somebody should link me a dance that could be the raffle dance. Now how this works is that I'm going to refresh the stream page, and then I'm going to grab a random username from the stream page, and if you are following me, you win. If you don't, we're going to draw another number until we get the ones that actually are following me. So if you're smart, you should follow me right now in order to win some free shit in TF2. So I'm going to be refreshing the page now. And then we are going to wait for the chat to load. The chat is loaded and it works. So we are going to be rolling dice. I'm going to include everybody, even the other guys. So I'm going to include absolutely everybody this time. So we're going to be bringing up the roll the dice thingamajig here. Yes, there we go. Bam! There it is. Fuck. Yes. You can click and roll the dice and... Paper 797. You've won. So what you do is that you type either your Steam username or Steam URL, like your homepage, to your thing. And we're going to give you, like, I'll trade with you. Basically. So just type your name in the chat or Steam URL. Oh, it's Paper 797. Cool. So while I do that, you guys get on Mumble and get ready, because after the raffle, it's time for the shoutouts, and you can say whatever on the shoutouts. It's gonna be fun. So we'll be right back with the shoutouts and the raffle right now. So we are back with Paper that won the raffle, and I'm gonna be showing you all the prizes you can win. Let's see, we got this thing, this thing, this thing. And this thing, 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 this thing. God damn, we got a lot of stuff, man. A lot of donations from the viewers. Thank you very much. You guys know who you are. Always a nice place in our hearts. Yes, that's all. So what you can do is you pick one item from this list. Just hold your mouse over it and it will say what item it is, and then you get it for free, man. He wants the front runner. Oh man, I can't imagine why you want that thing. Donated by the guy who crafted it. It doesn't say. Alright. So that's going to conclude the raffle. Congratulations to Paper for winning the front runner. Because suddenly we might have random prizes that are like super good. So with that, we are going to go into the shoutout section. Yes, that is right. And I'm going to unmute fucking myself, and I'm going to bring everybody in. Okay, let's see. Unmute everybody. Hey! Yay! Alright, so I want to give a big... Oh. I want to be able to hear what you're saying. I want to give a huge shout out to the moderators for doing a great job in the chat thing.
Thank you.
They're also here. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in Mumble and doesn't give shout outs.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to all trolls out there. Keep on trolling.
Yeah, keep on.
Shout out to Scout's mom.
Yeah, she's a hottie, man. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's at I-46 and Vanilla TV. Go check them out, check out the footage. Or maybe it's a different time period right now when you're watching this and I-46 isn't around anymore. It's like 47 and up. Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
I also want to give a shout out to everybody that's donated for the raffle. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
You know who you are. Yes, they're also present on Mumble. Yes, I also want to give a shout out to the Red Tape Recorder for being insanely good as of right now. Shout out to Valve Balance Team.
Oh yeah, for shout out to Valve Balance Team for the Enforcer.
Yeah,
And the pump.
and the shout out to the Pumpson.
Oh yeah.
It's
Shout out to the guy who made the Ulapu Cava, seriously. Yeah, he's a pro.
Shout out to the guy who made the Ambassador. I love you.
Yeah, I fucking hate you, Solid, your ambassador. Shout out to Solid for being fucking crazy good with the ambassador.
Thank you. Shout out to HiGPS for being a
Oh, yeah.
fucking great sniper and having a great show.
Fuck, I forgot to add the stream. But it's never too late. Shout out to me for forgetting the stream. Here it is. Boom.
Nice.
Here's the stream. Yeah, there it is. Tiny fuck.
Hey.
Come on, I can do this. Shout out to me for being prepared as always. Is that a bit small, maybe? Yes, there we go. Yes, there we go. Shout out to everybody in the stream for watching during this time of I-46 and pro players kicking ass at LAN. And then shout out to all the Americans at I-46 as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, and that was the show. Thank you all for joining. And I'm going to be telling you what the topic is for next time. It's going to be a medic episode, and we are going to be talking about soft pushes. And what's a soft push? Soft push is when you make a push without an Uber. Like you're usually supposed to do a push, but you do a push without Uber, and we're going to see how that goes. Because a lot of medics, they think like, we can't make a push without an Uber, it's impossible. But it's actually very possible. If you ask me, it's actually very good. So that's like going to be the focus of that. You can use whatever loadout, whatever medic gun you want. Highly recommend regular or crits, not quick fix, because the quick fix doesn't have overkill and it's not that good. But you can use whatever loadout you want. You can do whatever. You can do the medic chain or heal, heavy healer, anything. But it's basically going to be soft pushing. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching so much, and we still have shoutouts and stuff going on the side here. Yes. So see you guys later.